growing up. Children are learning how to regulate their emotions. They get upset, frustrated, and disappointed if they don't get their way. We interviewed a parent about his 3-year-old daughter, and Melissa Nolan, the director of the Nancy Darden Child Development Center. How should parents respond? What's the best way to intervene? Let's find out.
My daughter has temper tantrums most of the time when she does not get what she wants. Sometimes it can be the smallest thing as a piece of candy. But when she wants it, she wants it. But when mommy and daddy says no, we mean no. Regardless to what it is, it means no. So the temper tantrums start, and so do we. The longest temper tantrum may have lasted 4-5 minutes, maybe. When I say that, that's verbally, her actual crying and everything. But her temper tantrum itself maybe lasted maybe an hour or so, only because when she threw a temper tantrum, she kind of got quiet. She didn't say anything to us. She sat over in her chair and she was very, very quiet for a long time. Of course. Of course. And the tantrums go on for a little while. And most of the time that response is more of isolation. Take her to her room and allow her to know that until she get herself together, then this is where she's gonna be. We don't like to use that tactic much because we don't want the room to be a sign of punishment. Okay, we actually want her room to be a sign of a reward. Yes, and we're still figuring it out because right now, she's afraid of the rod, but we know as time goes on, that's going to change, and sooner or later, it's going to be more of taking things away from her, and we've already started to get into that stage.
I think in my experience, the most effective way that I've seen parents, and I suggest that parents deal with tantrums, is to first acknowledge whatever the child is feeling that caused that tantrum, and then after acknowledging the feeling, honestly walking away and letting them throw it out. A lot of times you'll see a tantrum escalate and then they'll start to decrease as long as the parent is not playing into the tantrum. I think so. I do think so. And I also think they should take a different approach depending on their child as well, because not every child responds the same way. I would say the more extreme a child's temper tantrum is, I would take more time before even trying to talk to them. If they're really just throwing out, screaming, crying, kicking, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get them to hear you. So to let them finish that out, and then after the tantrum, revisit what just happened. I see that you were very upset or frustrated, whatever you think may be happening, and then going from there.
What not to do during a temper tantrum. Do not shout or hit your child. This will only make the situation worse. Do not offer choices if one does not exist. How to deal with a tantrum. Give a quiet response and be in a peaceful environment. Gentle distractions, like switching to activities that your child enjoys. And if you are away from home, take child to a car or a restroom. Finally, you have to stay calm. Tantrums are normal and they are not your fault. You have to remind yourself that you are not a bad parent and they are not a bad child.